Longmire is a modern-day Western that immediately gathered dozens of fans when it released back in 2012. It strikes a balance between hardcore crime and warm family drama, and that's probably why fans ended up loving it so much. However, there was one thing that fans weren't too excited about, especially toward the end of the show. Did you know Longmire fans hate this surprising character? In this video, we'll talk about all things Longmire, especially this particular character. Let's begin. Taylor, or Sheriff Walt Longmire. Robert Taylor was the actor who breathed life into our beloved Sheriff Walt Longmire. As his character, he was perfectly nuanced, giving his audience an authentic cowboy feel while also retaining a sense of emotion in his character. Today, Robert Taylor is in his home country of Australia. The actor often posts pictures of himself having beers with his friends, traveling, and overall enjoying life in Melbourne. Robert Taylor has also starred in 2018's The Meg as Dr. Heller. Make sure to check it out if you miss the sheriff on screen. Lou Diamond Phillips, Henry Standing Bear. The talented Lou Diamond Phillips was behind Henry Standing Bear. His character was an important one in the show due to his relationship with Longmire and the way the plot shifts for him. Lou's cunning performance as Henry brought him a lot of recognition from fans and critics alike. If you don't know, Lou goes way back in the Hollywood scene, even as early as the 1980s. He was receiving appreciation for his performance as Richie Valens in La Bamba. He has even received Tony Award and Golden Globe Award nominations during his career. Today, Lou is playing his role as a world-class poker player. He even participates in major tournaments, though he hasn't had any major wins attached to his name yet. Lou also appears on screen as Gil Arroyo on the Fox series Prodigal Son. Katie Sackhoff, or Vic Moretti. Katie Sackhoff portrayed the cool and grunge detective Vic Moretti in Longmire, but fans also know her as Sheriff Longmire's sweetheart, who we couldn't quite get together with. Her role is truly an amazing one, as Katie has played it with both intelligence and feeling. Ever since Longmire, Katie has been seen playing many other characters for several franchises. She carries the role of Leslie Jacoy in The Flash, Bo-Katan in Star Wars, and The Mandalorian series. Another major role Katie's currently playing is of Nico Breckenridge on the sci-fi series Another Life on Netflix. Cassidy Freeman, or Katie Longmire. Cassidy Freeman played the smart and sophisticated Katie Longmire in our beloved Western. She's the daughter of Sheriff Longmire and an amazing lawyer. But before Longmire, Cassidy was also seen in the Superman drama. The show has an interesting twist for her character, and she uses it to act even more brilliant. Currently and outside of Longmire, Cassidy is part of an indie rock band along with her brother. It's called The Real Decoy. She also takes part in political and social campaigns and supported Asaf back in the 2020 election. She's also seen as Emma Kate in the horror thriller show The Forever Purge. She's also played Amber Gemstones in HBO's The Righteous Gemstones, which was considered one of the best shows in 2019. Bailey Chase, or Branch Connolly. Bailey Chase played Branch Connolly, who was the deputy sheriff of Absaroka in Longmire. He's also Katie Longmire's boyfriend on the show. However, something very surprising happens to him during the show, which you might know if you've seen Longmire, but we can't risk spoiling such a great show. After his Longmire tenure ended, Bailey went on to cast in other projects, including 24 Legacy, SWAT, and Twin Peaks. He also came back together with one of his co-stars on Longmire in Queen of the South. He's quite active on his Instagram as well. He posts the sweetest pictures of his friends, family, pets, and much more. His Instagram handle, Branch Lives, shows how much he loved his character. Adam Bartley, or Deputy Archie Ferguson. Adam Bartley portrayed the beloved Ferg on Longmire. He has a strong relationship with Longmire himself and is one of the people closest to him. His character is both endearing and sweet, and most Longmire viewers simply loved the Ferg. Ever since Longmire, Adam has taken part in many other shows. These include the role of Carl Brown in NCIS Los Angeles, Duke in This Is Us, and Eric Doyle in Lucifer. The fan-favorite deputy is quite active on his Instagram and shares photos of the people he loves. Zahn McClarnon, or Officer Matthias. Zahn McClarnon played Officer Matthias, who seemed to be a multi-dimensional character with many contrasting moments that had fans a bit confused. It was hard to tell if he had good or evil intentions, and this was perfectly delivered by a highly nuanced performance by Zahn. Zahn is a Native American actor whose very involvement in the Hollywood industry is quite significant. He's played other major roles roles, such as Hansi Dent in Fargo's second season, William Lopez on Marvel's Hawkeye, and Akacheta on Westworld, A. Martinez, or Jacob Nighthorse. Longmire's least liked character was played by A. Martinez as Jacob Nighthorse. A. Martinez gave an intense performance that had everyone convinced about Jacob's bad aims. His power-packed performance was what made fans accept him as a very important part of the show, without which it would be incomplete. A. Martinez started his career with film, but has received the most acknowledgments for his roles in soap operas. He played the role of Eduardo Hernandez on NBC's Days of Our Lives. He's a highly talented actor who knows how to embody any type of role that comes his way. So, out of all these characters, which one did Longmire fans end up hating? It was Katee Sackhoff's Vic Moretti. As we've already mentioned, Katee Sackhoff portrayed Vic Moretti throughout Longmire, playing the right-hand woman to Sheriff Longmire. She was at first shown as a homicide detective from the city of Philadelphia who has moved to Absaroka County along with her husband. Through time, Vic developed an attraction towards Sheriff Walt, who returned those feelings. However, the complicated positions the characters were in meant that they could not properly commit to each other. At this time, Vic was also dealing with her own problems, including a miscarriage and a divorce. However, the constant problems that Vic was dealing with and the way the character reacted to them annoyed some fans. Fans took to platforms such as Reddit to express their irritation with the way Vic's character was progressing. They found her whiny, didn't want to sympathize with her problems. They also didn't like the way she dealt with Sheriff Walt, coddling him and requiring constant reassurances. Some fans were simply not as enthusiastic about the TV show, Vic, but liked her character in the book series. Others blamed it on the shift that took place after season 3 from A&E to Netflix. Both Vic and Walt's character seemed hollow and lost their spark. However, not everyone had an issue with Katee's character. Some fans argued that Vic's character was important due to her courage, fearlessness, and her brave attitude. They also liked her for always siding with the truth and having a strong moral compass. Not to mention how without Vic, the show would be absolutely incomplete, as she was important to Walt's character arc as well. So, while fans might not have been too generous towards Katee Sackhoff's character, it's undeniable that she gave a brilliant performance and found herself lost in her character and its many experiences. That being said, would you like to know why Longmire came to an end? Longmire first came out in 2012 on A&E. It was well received and there were millions of views for each episode. However, just 3 seasons of running on A&E, the network decided to cancel it. This came as a surprise to fans, as each of the episodes did really well. However, it was later realized that Longmire was mainly watched by people over 50 years of age. This demographic is not considered useful by most corporations, as older people are more immune to advertisements. But the huge fan following that made cancellation almost ridiculous, along with the potential of further growth, convinced Netflix to save the show. It was given another life, and the show continued from 4 seasons onward on Netflix. Then, after 3 great seasons, Netflix also decided to drop the Western. Season 6 ended up being the last one. Although there's no numeric info supporting the reasons for cancellation, our guess is that Longmire was simply out of new content to adapt into its show. Most of the story from the books had already been used up, and Longmire simply couldn't go on. However, this is just a guess, and the truth could be something else. Another possible reason could be actors' contracts. A lot of contracts today last for 6 seasons, after which they're either ended or renewed. It could be that Longmire's cast wasn't interested in continuing with the show and decided to drop it. The show could have gotten too expensive to continue as well. Shows progressively get expensive as the number of seasons increase, and this could very well be a reason Longmire didn't continue past the 6th season. That's a wrap for today's video. Thanks for watching.